my name is Ryan. I'm one of the 101 coaches, and today I'm just going to be talking you through a little bit about throwing and how you can try and throw indoors while we're all in lockdown like this. One of the first things that I wanted to take you through was what we call an athletic stance. This is the base for a lot of athletic activity in both baseball and softball, and it just gets you ready for movement. So the position is with your feet slightly wider than the shoulder width apart, your knees slightly bent, and ideally you want to have the weight of your body on the balls of your feet, although you don't need to raise your heels off the ground, and just be loose and ready to move. Okay, so that's what we call our athletic stance, and we're probably going to be referring to that quite a lot in this video and in subsequent videos as well. So now that we've got the athletic stance down, I'm just going to take you through some things you can do to get warmed up for throwing inside, and we recommend that you do these before any athletic activity, just to get some blood flowing and just to make sure that you're a little bit stretched out, your muscles are a little bit warm before you try and exercise. The first one we call door knobs, so we want you back in your athletic stance, and we just want you to stretch out your arms with your thumbs down and your hands like you're holding a doorknob. And all we're going to do is rotate your thumbs upwards like you're opening a door. So just twisting your arms, not moving the rest of your body, and rotating your thumbs upwards towards the sky. Once you've done this a few times, however many times you feel is necessary, you can counter rotate, so put one thumb down, keep one thumb facing up towards the sky, and then rotate counterclockwise with those, just to make sure that you're using different separate muscles. So do this as much as you need, as you feel you need to get your arms warm, and then we'll move on to the next one. So the next one we're going to do is called X-Out, and this one involves, once again, back in the athletic stance, and you're going to cross your arms in front of you, and depending on how flexible you're feeling, don't know if you've been doing a lot of yoga in lockdown or not, you can either start with your hands at your knees, or if you're really flexible, on the floor. And all we're going to do from this position is explode out in an X shape, like this, all the way up until your weight is on your toes. So ideally this is an explosive movement, but you do want to stop your feet coming completely off the floor. It's not a star jump or a jump and jag. So keep your weight on your toes on the ground, but do make sure that you explode all the way out to the fullest extent. And once again, you can do as many of these as you feel you need in order to get warm. The next one we're going to be doing is called the wood chop. And once again, we want you to get into your athletic position. And we're going to be doing this one sideways on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to imagine there's a block of wood here that needs to be chopped. And I'm going to imagine that I'm holding an axe. I'm just going to rock my weight backwards, and as I go forwards again, I'm going to bring the axe up over my shoulder and chop the wood, and then follow through with a step. Okay, so that's what this looks like. Back in my position again, rocking backwards, and then chopping the wood and following through. And once again, you can do as many of these as you feel you need to be warm. It's just making sure that we're getting the muscles that you're going to be using for throwing, hitting, and other softball and baseball activity ready, and to make sure that your heart rate is going up a little bit, get some blood pumping. So now that we're warmed up and ready to go, I have here my ball, which is just a couple of socks that I've made into a ball. You can use more socks if you want to simulate a bigger ball, but this is roughly the size just in between a baseball and a softball. And we can go into how you would grip a baseball or softball in another video, but for today what I'm going to do is just show you a basic throwing motion. I'm going to be throwing this way because I want to be throwing across my body to help generate rotation and torque, and I'm going to be using my non-throwing arm shoulder in order to aim. So when I do that, I'm back in my athletic stance, back in my athletic position, and I can either use my elbow to aim, or I can use my hand. I prefer my elbow, but we are going to be going this way. you may have seen this position before if you've watched any baseball or softball. This is called the set position, and this is where we're going to start from. So using that set position, I'm going to rock my weight backwards on my back foot. This foot may come off the ground to allow me to stride. And then my hands are going to break apart in pendulums, in a pendulum-like motion. Now, what's important for me to do here is that I keep all of my movement in my upper body balanced. So whatever this arm does, this arm is going to do the mirror of. So as we start again in the set position, I rock my weight back, my foot comes up, and I break my hands apart. I go through that pendulum, and then I can come up and aim with my elbow or my hand, and I'm in a throwing position, ready to use my back foot to rotate my hips and deliver the ball over my shoulder. Now, when we deliver the ball over your shoulder, it's very important that we finish with pronation of the wrist. And what that means is your wrist coming down in a safe way in order for you to decelerate the momentum on your arm. And I'm just going to show you what that looks like facing the camera. So if I aim at you guys with my shoulder, I rock my weight back, get my arm up, and then as I throw over, my wrist is going to turn this way and pronate, and it will come down by my side here, allowing me to safely decelerate the speed from my arm without injury. Okay, so now we're going to do one at full speed. I'm just going to throw this pair of socks at the wall there because they're quite soft. Hopefully we can't damage anything. So I'm going to start in my set position, rock my weight back, get my arm up to aim, and then throw through and follow through all the way. So that's how you can roughly safely throw at home. Hope you've enjoyed the video. We'd very much like you guys to give it a try, maybe even film yourselves doing it as well so that you can share them with other people. And if you do have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below and we'll try and answer what we can. Thanks very much for watching.